Hey, Gabe DeArmond here. We're going to get to episode 3 of Hangin with Mookie Cooper here in just a minute. We will bring Mookie in for our weekly chat. This one is one you guys aren't going to want to miss. We're going to talk all about the recruiting process. But before we do that, I want to remind you that our conversations with Mookie every single week are brought to you by the Bruning Law Firm in St. Louis. Bruning Law Firm helps people who were injured in an accident. Started by a father and his two sons, all Mizzou grads. They treat their clients like family, helping them recover and get the compensation that they deserve. Bruning Law Firm is your Missouri law firm. You can get in touch with them at bruninglegal.com. You can do a live chat. You can schedule a consultation. You can call 312-736-7645. So all those ways to get in touch with our weekly sponsor. If you have any legal needs, personal injury needs, thank them for being a part of this and making it possible. And with that, we'll bring Mookie in. Welcome back into week 3 of Hangin' with Mookie Cooper, our weekly chat with the Mizzou sophomore wide receiver. Mookie, how you doing tonight, man?
Doing pretty good. Just got done with a little meetings and had workouts earlier, but same old, man, the grind.
Yeah. I know off season is you guys probably just waiting for spring football, and then about a week into spring football, you'll be waiting for spring football to get over. So.
Facts.
All right, so this is the episode that I've been, since we decided we were doing this. This is the one I've been most excited about doing, and I think a lot of people are going to like hearing this and get kind of an inside look at the recruiting process from a guy that's been there and gone through it and got recruited by some of the biggest programs in college football. So I want to start out. You told us last week on the show when you got your first scholarship offer, you were a freshman in high school, I think, and you were kind of blown away by it. Who was that first offer from?
It was from the University of Illinois.
Okay.
Illinois were my first offer.
And who was the Illinois coach back then? You remember?
It was Lovie Smith was the head coach. I think this is when Rod, I don't want to say Rod Smith, but I know his name was Rod. He was the OC, Coach Rod. He was the OC there. Okay. You know, that's who was recruiting me, yeah.
Okay, so you get that first one. Like, you're what, probably 14, maybe 15 years old at this point. Like, what do you think when you start getting a scholarship offer, like before you've played a high school football game, anything like that?
I'm literally like, damn, this finna really start. Like, this finna really start now. Because when I got the offer, this was during, like, you know, like it's always that season when coaches are always coming through the schools and whatever. So this was during that season, and every day it was like new coaches coming in. Like, I'm just meeting all these people, and I'm like, this can't be real. But other than that, yeah, it was wild for sure.
So did you get it? Did recruiting really start then, or were you more like a sophomore or a little bit later when you really started getting all these coaches coming in and calling you and sending you?
I probably like, I can't remember the exact dates of when all my offers came, but like before my actual sophomore season at Trinity High School, I maybe had 10 offers, like already just off of my JV film. Like for the first couple of days when I got there, it was like every day nearly I had ended up getting an offer from some school that came for a while. But it picked up pretty fast as soon as I got to Trinity, and then I got to go on to camps that summer.
Mm-hmm. So when you, one of my things following recruiting for as long as I have, and I don't know if it used to be this way, but in the last few years, it's really kind of started. Everybody wants to be the first school to offer, and they want to offer before anybody else did. So down the road, they can come back to you and say, hey, we offered you when nobody else wanted you. But a lot of these coaches are also telling kids, hey, you got an offer. But if you called and tried to commit to that coach, they say, well, maybe we wait a little bit. So did you have any kind of feel for how the process worked because you knew some older guys had gone through it?
Like when you just said talking about the not being able to commit thing, like I feel like that was real big in a lot of St. Louis recruiting or whatever. But I mean, you know, like I said, when I got to Trinity, it was already Isaiah Williams, Marcus Washington, Mookie Cooper. They were already getting highly recruited. So I mean, they kind of were just telling me, especially Isaiah Williams, he a real humble dude. So he was just telling me like, don't let it get you too big headed. Don't let it, don't just stay calm with it. But so that's really kind of the advice was. He was like, because he was pulling in, he had like 50 offers. So he was just like, don't let it get to your head. Like they're gonna come, they're gonna tell you stuff. You just don't let it get to your head. That's all he really tried to tell me. But he was the only one that too much tried to give me some type of knowledge on the recruitment stuff for real.
So were you one of those guys that every offer you get, you're tweeting out and stuff, or did you kind of keep stuff more to yourself?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. When I first was getting recruited, like I tweeted out all offers. I didn't not tweet out all offers, but when I first was getting recruited, it was like this super geek thing. I posted on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, like all at one time. Like it was but like eventually the recruiting process get real annoying. It get real annoying. So like after probably like offer 12, 13, it was like, all right, stop texting my phone. Like, all right.
Yeah. So give people an idea, like, and I'm not asking you for any specific coach or anything like that, but just a coach comes to your high school and you're a sophomore in high school, whatever. Like, what's the recruiting pitch? What the first time they're talking to you or when they're offering you, what are they saying? What are they kind of telling you?
They gonna tell you first. They gonna tell you, we noticed X, Y, and Z about you, and your skill set is so unique. And they say, we don't have anything like this, knowing everybody in college is fast. Everybody can blah, 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 blah. They say, we don't have anything like this. We got the best. They say, we got the best. They're going to throw in something that they got the best of at their school. I swear you will hear that every school got the best something.
Right.
I don't know what it is. They got the best something. And then they're going to say, if you want to go to this place, this is where you got to go. If you want to go to the NFL, this is the only place you can go, blah, 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 blah. And then they tell you got an offer and to come visit.
So as you're going along, I know you said, hey, they're texting your phone. I mean, are you having, are there coaches that legitimately like text you or DM you or something every day? Or is that overblown?
Bro, this is no cap. Every day, like, I'm not saying every coach, but there were coaches like that I had. He could have sent 20 messages and I would have not responded one time. Like they will literally text you every day. But I feel like eventually I kind of figured out, I feel like they just copied and paste messages. Like, cause it would be like, sometimes it'd be like just stat messages about their school, like some stuff I'm knowing they couldn't, I hope they didn't just type this out all to me, like, or whatever, but they'd just be like, constantly text in the morning, good morning, good afternoon, just constantly all day, every day.
I mean, I know that would irritate me. Like as a 16-year-old kid, did you ever just text a coach back? Yo, man, I'm going to listen, but you got to leave me alone.
Nah, it was only one coach that I actually had to tell, like, all right, like I be kind of busy after these hours. This is when I like to be with my girl. This is when I like to chill. Like, all right, let's chill out some. But some of them actually end up telling you, like, if I ever get too annoying, just don't even hesitate to let me know or whatever. But after I got to college now, they kind of tell, like our coaches talk about, they be like, they got to bug them. They got to blow them up. Like, that's kind of part of their deal. But they don't, I feel like they don't want to be doing it. I hope they don't want to blow up 16-year-olds, but it's kind of how it is, you know?
So when you're going through this process, like at what point or how can you kind of figure out, all right, these are the schools that like, yeah, they've offered me, but I'm not hearing from these guys a lot. And these are the ones that are really serious about me. Or did you, because you were pretty much a national recruit, did you feel like everybody recruiting you was pretty serious about
it? I feel like 85% of my offers, like, coaches were reaching out to me. If it wasn't every day, like on pretty much on a regular, like I would hear from an offer. It was some of the schools that offered me early, and once everything picked up, they kind of reached out and was like, we kind of know we probably don't have a shot, but if you are interested, let us know or whatever type deal. But the figuring out which schools is serious or whatever, I feel like my whole top 10, top 5s, me knowing it now, like, I just based that off of who was talking to me the most and who I thought was the best school. I don't know. Like I feel like I didn't even look into my recruitment like process, how a individual should like going into all the details. Like I feel like I was looking at the wrong things, and I didn't have too much of a real guidance on making that decision. It was kind of like all kind of on myself. But I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what that was.
So when you are kind of on your side trying to figure out, all right, which of these places and I don't know if our database is right with your recruitment or not. Sometimes it's a little more accurate than others. We listed you with about, I think we had you 30 offers, and the only places you took official visits that we had were Texas and Ohio State. Is that right?
I know. Honestly, I don't even think I end up getting to my Texas official.
Okay.
I think I only took my Ohio State official.
Okay.
Yeah, I only took Ohio State, but I had been to Texas like 4 or 5 times though. Like I was up there often, but I only took an official to Ohio State. That was my first official. Yeah.
Okay. Was Ohio State, or was there another school where, hey, when you started getting recruited, when you started getting these offers, you like started the process saying, all right, if this school offers, like, I know this is it, whether it's because they had cool uniforms or good weather or whatever it was?
I ain't gonna lie, like a lot of through high school, I really wanted to go to Miami. Like I was telling people I was going to Miami. Like I was supposed to have an official visit there, but I didn't end up getting to it. Like I really wanted to go to Miami. I ain't gonna lie. Like just because I seen when Jeff Thomas, I didn't hear about him for real until like his junior, senior year of high school, and then ever since then, like he was like that guy to me. So I was looking up to him a little bit, and I didn't even know him, but I was just looking up to him. But once they finally, because I didn't get their offer until like I think my end of junior year or towards senior year. So like I was waiting on them, reaching out to their coaches. Like I never even reached out to coaches or trying to get them to really recruit me or whatever. But like Miami was one I was like pushing for or whatever. I was super geeked about getting.
Yeah. Want to ask you before we get a little more into the process of making the decision and everything. Obviously, most of the people going to be watching this are Mizzou fans. Obviously, you're here now, but that wasn't originally where you went. What was your recruiting process like? And I know it was a previous coaching staff, but did Missouri really have a shot? Was that a place you considered much out of high school, or was that kind of an early on? They knew you were going somewhere else.
See, honestly, like I think I got an offer from Mizzou like around my sophomore year, and like I was getting recruited. I was up there often. Like I got family that played at Mizzou or whatever. You know, like Mizzou was kind of a big thing. I know a lot of people that went there, but when I first got recruited, it was by Coach Ford. He was the running back coach, I think.
Yep.
So we was up there often. Like honestly, I was interested, but like my high school mindset, like this is. Sorry, Mizzou fans, this is literally my honest mindset. Like now, me knowing now, I don't feel like this, but like I just felt like I was getting all these offers. I always been good at football since I was little. I was getting all these offers. It was just like I'm from Missouri. Like I'm from Missouri. I felt like I was too. I got the chance to go to one of these big schools. Like I need to go to one of these big schools. Like I felt like if I went to Mizzou, like I would end up settling. Like, and it was just based off of like performance. Like I wanted to get to NFL. I got NFL dreams. Like I'm a 15, 6-year-old kid. All this stuff is new to me. Like I'm trying to figure out where I can go make the biggest name for myself at. Like that was just my thought process. And that was so like I was going on visits. I still had love for Mizzou, but I don't even know if they were in my top 5.
Yeah.
But like that's kind of what that deal was. I just felt like I would end up be settling if I had chosen Mizzou.
That's the thing, because like you've heard it, I'm sure, all along that hey, Missouri kids, especially in St. Louis, Missouri's had a hard time getting a lot of these guys until here these last couple of years. And I've always said like there's something about just it being so close that I think a lot of kids look at it and it doesn't have like that cool factor or something, right? Like it's not. It's cooler to walk around the high school, to walk around the halls and tell your buddies, hey, man, I just got a Penn State offer. I just got a Michigan offer. that sounds cooler being a St. Louis kid than I just got a Missouri offer. And there's something to that.
Yeah, and then it was like during the time, like, I don't know what the Mizzou record was, but like if Mizzou was just balling out, like it probably hold more weight or whatever. But it was like, it's like you just hear Mizzou, it's just like, all right, that's Mizzou. Like that was kind of the thought process behind it, especially as you got social media going on, you got everybody committing to all these cool places and whatever. You like, you kind of want to fit in with that.
Mm-hmm. So do you even remember your like top 5 schools or who else was really in it when you were getting ready to decide?
I take that back. I straight told a story. I went on a official visit to USC.
Okay.
I took a official visit. So it was Miami, USC, Texas, Ohio State, and Illinois. I think that was my top 5. Miami, Texas, Illinois, Ohio
State.
USC, yeah.
Okay, so this is seriously the question I get most often from fans and people that follow recruiting is, what do these kids do on an official visit? So, like, tell me, you go on a visit, and if you got to leave some things out, I understand you got to leave some things out, but tell me, you get to campus, and for 48 hours, man, it is these guys' job to treat you like a king and make you think that this is going to be every day if you go to school there. So what do you do when you take one of these visits?
I'm trying to break it down. So first, airplanes, like before this recruitment stuff, I never been on an airplane. So like, wow, that was big. They're going to get you on a nice flight. You ain't got to pay for nothing. So we packing up bags or whatever. You fly in. As soon as you get to the building, it's like all these coaches and everybody just waiting on you. They got like balloons, maybe. This whole setup is cameras, is people. All type of stuff like this, like real celebrity vibes right now. This real celebrity vibes. So you coming in, they got all these cameras. First, you're gonna go through like maybe like some height, weight in stuff or whatever, some quick little number stuff. But then from there on, it's like first night, I think you had like a dinner or whatever with the family and stuff like that. But then you go to like, that stuff is boring. Nobody even care about that, whatever. That stuff is boring. Whatever, you got the dinner. But then it's just like the photo shoot and the outings is what make the I feel like, to me, recruitment is based off how much fun the kid has in the photo shoot, for real. Like that, I feel like that's kind of some big things if you want to grab some kids. And it's not as important. But I'm telling you, if a kid took pictures and he didn't like his pictures, he's not going to go to that school. I'll tell you, if he didn't like the camera or the photo shoot, he's not going to like that school. But I'm saying we go on a visit or whatever, we go out. It's just like you have a what I want to call it, like a host. You have a host, and he just take you out, paying for food. You might go out downtown to the campus life or whatever. But it's really just whatever you want. They literally have to do whatever you want to do. They take you. Like you can say, I want to go to Six Flags if the city has it. They have to take. They're going to take you. It's really just an all-out, expense-free getaway with you and your family. Like, always, you eat so much, like, you're never hungry. Like, you eat too much, honestly. They got big old breakfasts, big old lunches, big old dinners, snacks, all that. So that's really kind of all it is, like, food and fun.
Who went on your visits with you? Was it you and your mom?
My Texas visit, it was me, my mom, and I got a mentor. He was one of my little league coaches. We went on my Texas visit. That was the same group for my USC visit too. But for my official visits, that was my group. But on my other visits, it'd be like teammates. I used to go with teammates or stuff like that. But
what was, and maybe it's Ohio State because that's where you ended up committing. I don't know. But if you just look back, what was the most fun visit you had? The one where you walked away and said, man, that was a good time.
I'm gonna say Texas. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, I love Texas. Like, I used to have some fun out there. Like, it was just like, it was so big and everything was so new. I like USC too, but USC was like too different for me. Like, it was real nice. Like, it was just I didn't feel all the way comfortable out there, but Texas, it was like big. I love their stadium, and then just the love I used to get from Texas fans. It was just like, I could walk around there and somebody could know me like I played on the team or something, like, and I'm just a recruit up there. Texas just made me feel like a real star up there. I ain't gonna lie, like on some real, yeah.
So last thing about the visits, do you, when you're a recruit or when your buddies or teammates or whatever are going on these visits, like, do recruits understand, hey, for these 48 hours, like I'm the king, but the day I show up on campus as a freshman, I'm not the king anymore. Do you get that at that point, or do you think that's how it's always going to be?
I mean, it's like you probably understand that in the back of your head, but like I'm not even gonna lie, like when you there, I promise there's no time to even think about like, all right, when you sitting there at the dinner table and you gotta ask questions, you might think about what it's gonna be like when you get there or whatever. But once you leave your parents and you gotta take that sophisticated mask off or whatever, like you're not even thinking about what it's gonna be like when you get there. Like you're gonna be strictly locked in on having fun because it's like literally all about you. Like it's just all about you.
The one thing I know about official visits, having to always try to call kids on Sunday and get a hold of them for stories after there. Nobody wants to talk on Sunday, man. Everybody's like, I haven't slept all weekend. I got to get home. I just want to go to bed.
Facts.
So then Ryan Day was, I think, in his first year as head coach at Ohio State. So tell me how he kind of convinced you that was the place. Tell me about Ohio State's recruitment of you.
Like I didn't even get too much recruited by Ryan Day. I was getting recruited by Brian Hartline, but see, this is what's crazy. I had the offer from Ohio State, I think like in the sophomore year, somewhere in there. But like I wasn't really hearing from them. Like I didn't even really get too much recruited by them. So once they ended up, they just popped up at my school one day. Coach Hartline popped up at the school one day or whatever. And they like, Mookie, Ohio State to hear you see. I'm like, what? Like what? Or whatever. So I go down there, I'm talking to him, whatever. And he was just showing me all their numbers. Like, you know, it's Ohio State, they got the number one this, the many draft picks they sent here and all. So I'm just like, he's just telling me all this stuff. And I'm already super geek just because it's them. So like half the stuff he's saying, it didn't even matter what he was saying. I was just smiling just cause whatever he's saying, it gotta be good. It's coming from Ohio State or whatever. So once he was telling me like he was interested in me and telling me that I should come on a visit and all that, after I had came on the visit, I took an unofficial first. Took an unofficial with me and my mom, and then we planned the official like not even too far after that, maybe a couple weeks or whatever after that. And then that's kind of, after I had the official, it kind of sealed the deal. Yeah. But I didn't even look into everything. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I just kind of brushed it off all emotion at the moment.
So I looked at this because I knew this is what we were going to talk about. I looked at this, the Ohio State wide receivers. So 2 years before you, they signed Cam Babb out of St. Louis, who everybody knows. The lowest ranked receiver they actually signed is just some kid named Chris Olave. So that shows you how good recruiting rankings, right? He was a 3-star. Nobody ever heard of that kid. Then the next year, they signed 4-star Jamison Williams out of St. Louis and 4-star Garrett Wilson out of Austin, Texas. He's going to be a first-round pick this year. And then you end up signing with Ohio State in the 2020 class. And then also in that class, Julian Fleming, a 5-star kid who played there some this year. And then a guy named Jackson Smith and Jigba that I think a few people might have heard of here in the last couple months. I mean, there's literally NFL rooms that don't have as much talent as that wide receiver room you were in your freshman year, probably.
Facts. And that's kind of what you don't get. Like, I didn't even too much. Like, I didn't look at no depth for real, like no depth chart for real. Like, I was just going off of pure thrive and love trying to be in the NFL or whatever. But like real deal, that's why I really I have no bad emotion really towards Ohio State. My situation was my situation, but it was like I real deal learned from real pros, like everybody there, just how they carry themselves up there. I'm not gonna lie, like it's a real business up there. So like Chris Olave, like you said, he was one guy I really tried to follow after because he was just a real laid-back, humble guy, but he worked. Like, everything about him was just about business. So, like, he carried himself like a pro. You walk around, it's just nothing but real grown men out there. Like, who stand on top of everything, ain't late to this. No matter if it's football or school though. Like they real, you gotta have it both ways. And that's really why I had love being there for a while.
So it's been a little over 2 years, I guess, since you went through that process. So if Mookie today could look back and tell like high school sophomore Mookie what to do in the recruiting process, what would you do differently than you did when you were a high school kid?
I ask more questions. Like, I feel like they used to ask, like, do you have any questions or whatever? But like, I'm a real quiet. I'm quiet around people I don't know. I can't even say I'm quiet because Mizzou people on my team, they always tell me about this podcast. They gonna say I ain't quiet, but like, I be real chill around people I don't know. Like, I just be smiling, like saying yeah or no, I'm good. But I feel like you really need to ask questions, like really figure out like what you really want to get out of them, and ask questions that'll make them think, like, because they all got like the same sayings or whatever. They all kind of pitch out the same stuff to most kids. Like, you got to find something that's gonna really have them thinking and give you a real answer. But like, I feel like I should have did my research more basically about depth charts. Then just trying to figure out what real specific way a team could have used me. I just feel like I heard like the same saying, like, you have this unique skill set. But like none of them really was saying how they would use that skill, like, or whatever. So that's really what I tell myself to do. And with me, being away from home isn't too much like a thing for all kids. Like, even though Ohio State was only 6 hours away, some days where I would feel real low just because, like, you just want to be around some people that you comfortable and know, like, just love you. Like, I'd call my mom, like, can you please come get me? She's like, I can't just drive 6 hours. I'm like, just for the weekend, or whatever. But just having the right people around you and having some people that can guide you, some real people that have been through that process or know something, have them people help you to make your decision.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little more about your freshman year and then your decision to transfer back next week. But I always say, like, the two things that I mean, I've covered recruiting since 2003, and the two things I would tell every kid if they ever asked is, number one, when a coach tells you you have an offer, the first question you ask him is, can I commit today? Because if he says no, then you don't really have an offer from that school. And number two is, you got to know who else they're recruiting at your position, because it's better to go somewhere that, hey, maybe they didn't win a national title and maybe they don't have 18 first-round picks in the last 4 years, but you're going to get on the field. Because if you get on the field, the NFL is going to find you, no matter where you
all it's about in this game. It's just about opportunity. Like, it don't matter where you at. As long as I feel like any player that's a starter at any school or whatever, especially D1 or whatever, you have the opportunity to go to the NFL if you want. It's all up to you at that point. So, like, if you got time to get on that field, the world is yours right there. That's what I feel like. So, yeah.
All right, so we're going to finish with this, and usually I think the answer ends up being both of these, but was being recruited fun or was it stressful?
If I had to pick one, I'm going to say it's fun. Like, but outside of the text messages, like, being a recruiter is fun. You popular. People always want to do interviews. You got rankings. You get everyone at school know you. A signing day is only a couple kids. All the attention on you. It's like you getting to fly out of town, take all these cool pictures in uniforms. Like, it's a real blessing. Like, everybody can't be a recruit. So I feel like I can't even sit up and say it's stressful, because I know a lot of people that want to be in those same shoes. So it's real fun to me.
And here's what we learned tonight, man. The most important thing, you better take good pictures of the kid when he's on campus.
Facts.
All right, Mookie, appreciate your time, man. Thanks. And I know we've gotten a lot of good feedback about this. I hope you have too. And we're going to talk next week about that freshman year and then finally coming back to Columbia a couple years after a lot of people had hoped you would.
Yeah, facts. I've been having a great time with it. Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right, so that is Hanging with Mookie Cooper for this week. And so much good information, I thought, from Mookie on the recruiting process in that interview, and just giving you guys a look that hey, you don't always get. And yeah, some of it was probably, as a Missouri fan, like something that maybe you don't want to hear as much, but it also gives you an idea of what Gary Pinkel and Barry Odom and now Eli Drinkwitz kind of have to combat when they go out and try to sign these kids. So, appreciate Mookie being so open and honest about his recruiting process. And like I said, next week we're going to focus on that tough freshman year for him in Columbus, Ohio. Sounded both probably tougher, just personally than football-wise maybe, and then his decision to transfer back to the University of Missouri for his second year. We'll have that episode for you next Tuesday morning, but thank you all for listening. Would appreciate if you are listening on the podcast to hit the give us a good review, 5-star review, leave some nice comments. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to our channel and like the show. That definitely helps get the word out and helps more people see it. And not only would I appreciate that, I know the people at the Bruning Law Firm in St. Louis would appreciate that. The Bruning Law Firm brings this show to you all week, every week, makes this thing that we're doing with Mookie possible all spring long. They are a personal injury firm in St. Louis, started by a father and his 2 sons. All of them went to Mizzou. They're all Mizzou grads. They're all huge Mizzou fans, supporters of ours, and that's why we support them. The Bruning Law Firm is going to treat their clients, I should say, not your clients, but their clients like family, and get you what you deserve to help you recover and just the compensation you need if you've been injured in an accident. They are your Missouri law firm. You can check them out at bruninglegal.com. Make an appointment for a consultation, all that. So thanks to Bruning Law Firm. Thanks to Mookie Cooper. And most of all, thanks to you guys for listening. Hope you enjoy what we're doing here. This is episode 3. That means episode 4 is next week. Thanks for tuning in.